You have the wrong mentality. You're thinking about it completely ass backwards. Like you're looking at it from the perspective of a gambler. See, a gambler sees all those tables out there in the casino floor. They're looking around. They got their system. You know what? You've heard it from your grandparents. Oh, you wait and you watch and see who's playing that one-handed bandit. You want the ones that's been sitting there playing for a long time. Just sit there and eat your peanuts and drink your beer. Just sit there and watch them. Don't put any money in the machines. Just watch. And when they get up, that's the machine you go over to. The whole time, they're telling themselves they're going to win. They're going to win because they've convinced themselves of it. You can't do that with trading. Today's a perfect example of that. Yes, we knew there's a high impact news driver coming out at 8:30 today. Yes, it's likely to create a lot of movement. Yes, tools can be utilized to anticipate the likelihood of a move going in a specific direction. And then the report hits the marketplace. And then the algorithm starts doing what an algorithm does in high impact news drivers. Rips shit up. Took off like a bat out of hell. Orders, pending orders, still pending. But your chart, wait. But my chart says I should have got filled. Your broker says, screw your order. See, you think these folks out here running these companies to facilitate engagement for your trades to be taken to the marketplace, you think they owe you something. When you need them the most, trust me, folks, they're not going to be there for you. Yeah, how about that? They're not going to be there for you. You can place those protective stop orders and those pending orders to get in on an awesome entry and have all your hopes and dreams tied up on that particular trade. But when the market takes off and the velocity is so violent, they're not going to be able to fill you. They're not. Okay, there's simply no way for them to do that. Moves too quick. Market's moving at a pace that's so fast and violent. Your chart is marking to market, but the liquidity isn't matching up. It isn't allowing it to pair up orders. So yes, you can see on your chart how, in hindsight, wow, it went right to the order block. Opening price on the daily chart. Wow, it really just reacted nicely. So, it's my concept, and I still couldn't peel off an entry either. Too fast. Hit the nitrous oxide and gone, baby, go. So I don't think any of you should have any kind of sorrowness. Oh, I missed out. You should feel glad. Because I can tell you this, if you would have got filled today, you would have been scared shitless. It would have been moving so fast for you. You never would have clearly knew where to exit. You probably would have just bailed. As soon as you started seeing it move, you would have bailed. Because it's too quick, too fast. None of you have that experience to see what it feels like to hold on to something in free fall like that. It's exhilarating. But you were spared. You didn't have that experience today. But you have the safe hindsight perspective of knowing that you would not have been filled on that morning move. It never would have happened. And the only entry that you would have maintained will be on the basis of chasing price after it has already dropped 40 some handles. That little clip I put on this morning, that's real time. Sometimes, when you watch my vignettes, I'm actually speeding it up and I'm compressing a lot of time down into 2 minutes, 15 seconds, something to that effect. You're watching it real time. There's no speeding up at all. That it was not edited for time to get compressed. It's literally just like you would have been watching it live. It's not the same as if you go to TradingView and watch it through Market Replay. You can't appreciate it. You cannot see it as it violently shifted and then plummeted. There's no way your system or anybody else's system is getting filled on that. And I just wanted to sit down with you and remind you in truthfulness that if anybody's telling you that they would have gotten filled on that, they're lying. Because it's only going to be a demo that filled out on that. That's it. And perhaps, and I don't know because I wasn't using anything paper trading this morning, but perhaps TradingView paper trades maybe didn't allow you to get an entry. I notice sometimes on TradingView, on real big events like that, it seems like their paper trading thing goes down, like it won't work. I know I tried in the past when I was doing FOMC trying to show things to Caleb, it wouldn't even take the order in. And then all of a sudden, like 10 minutes later, it activates and fills, but it's like, it wouldn't be, I wouldn't want to be in where it's putting me in at, you know what I mean? So I guess in a lot of ways, it's similar to what you would experience, but not to that great length of delay. But if you're trying to trade these high impact news events, just know that CPI is something that has to hit the market. And then after it hits the market, we're looking for something. We're not trying to get ahead of it. We treat it just like FOMC or any kind of rate announcement. You can't stand in front of that. That means you don't want to get into a move before that number hits, because it can do wild stuff, folks, and really hurt you. Imagine if you would have been long this morning. Something in the chart that just said, hey, you know what? This thing's going to go up a lot. And you went long at 8:20 a.m. New York local time. And you use an 8 handle or 10 handle stop loss. That's a pretty respectable amount of handles for a stop loss in E-mini S&P. And then the CPI number hit like it did. Your stop loss would have done nothing for you. The market would have been laughing in your face while you're down 40 some plus handles. And your broker doesn't care. You owe money. And that money will be debited from your account, or now you have a margin call. You owe them money that ain't in your account. Something like that could happen. So when you're looking at medium and high impact news drivers, just know that non-farm payroll, FOMC, rate announcement type things, and CPI numbers, they are generally ferocious. They can be very painful, regardless of whatever you think you know about the marketplace. Listen, folks, I think I'm the best. Oh, let's be honest, I believe I'm the best. I don't think about it, I believe it. And I still respect these reports because I am aware that me, the human, I can go into those days and think, I'm smarter than my algorithm. And then it shows me I'm not. So on days like this, when I'm up against my algorithm, I have a tendency to get it wrong. Other events, FOMC, CPI, non-farm payroll, rate announcements that don't have this type of character behind it, I can be a little bit more assertive. In fact, many times I can be in before the news hits. But these events, CPI, FOMC, rate announcements, and non-farm payroll, I do not I do not stand in front of them. I have to let them do what they're going to do, then look for the setup. And then admit to myself that I don't know what it's going to do ahead of those specific reports, because they're highly manipulated. That data, it's known to certain individuals before. All the data is really. But these are high impact drivers where they really push price around. So that means what? There's going to be a lot more manipulation, because that hand behind the marketplace, it's a greedy hand. It wants it before you can have it. That means you have to respect it more, because it will slap you. It'll slap the taste right out of your mouth. And it has happened to me dozens of times over my career. And I've learned and was humbled on these days. So I respect it like this. And the other day, I'm out there. I ain't worried about it. I'll step right in front of it. But these reports, I know one of the ladies in our group, she tweeted, "Hey, I thought we look for these types of events. Not all of them are equal. And you learned about it tonight. Which ones should you be expecting a little bit more than others? And why?" So it's important for you to look back soberly and understand, because you're going to see a lot of folks out there and show their entries, or what would be otherwise viewed as an entry. But many times these entries are trades that they've taken on some demo account that they got running around, and they just created another demo account on more phones and more devices. And then sometimes these old entries just happen to line up real good with something that took place the very day the market really tanks. And they weren't watching that demo account that's really been trading the same move for days, like a ghost ship out in the sea. Out there like an aimless ship with no navigation. But now they're going to share that chart with you, knowing that, hey, wow, that looks like you really got in there. Folks, no one got in there this morning. Not at 8:30 in the morning, they didn't. That did not happen. And at 8:31, Elvis left the building. That thing was already leaving Dixie. It's gone. So nobody's showing you a fill at 8:30 in the morning today. It did not happen. So don't be fooled into believing that someone else out there was able to do that, because they did not. Didn't happen. Now, some of you might look at that and think, there's got to be a way. Well, if you can find a way to find a broker to execute on your orders in the amount of time that it would require, in as fast as that market moved this morning. Go back and look. I even showed a chart with 1 second candles. One candle represents an entire 1 second interval. I shared that this morning on the Twitter. Nobody was getting filled. Period. But some of you are new. Some of you have next to no experience. And it's easy to fall victim to folks that just show you a picture of something, or the demo entry, because demos can fill. It's just executing based on what that number of price is showing. There wasn't an actual fill. There's no other counterparty to that trade. There is no trade. It's just, okay, that demo account is marking that time as a transaction that would be considered a pretend trade. So it will fill because it doesn't have any hardship. It doesn't have a illiquid state in the marketplace like we had this morning. There's a period of time where the brokers simply just don't do anything. They're not going to fill anything. Oh, it doesn't make any sense. That's how it works. That's how it works, folks. It saves them all kinds of clerical, administrative work when complaints come in and say, oh, I was filled here and this isn't right. To get around all that problem, just delay. No orders being filled at all. Delay it. "30 seconds, 45 seconds, a minute, 90 seconds. Oh, there's no way it's happening. It happens, folks. It happens. And that's why it's important for you to understand that you're not going to be a surgeon on days like this. You just simply aren't. Just warm up to the idea that you don't need to be perfect on days like this. In fact, unless it comes right to you, don't do anything. Don't push it. Don't insist that you get a fill, that you have to have something out of the day because it's going to be a big move and I don't want to be without having something. Just give me a small little piece of it. You don't need it. You don't need it. You can trade your entire career and never take a trade on CPI and still do well. And that's what I want to leave you with. I want you to remember that it's not your job to place your entire success on the expectations of navigating, entering precisely, and exiting precisely on a day like today. Because I can assure you that if anyone traded profitably today, it was a very small class of individuals, and they weren't that precise. And they did not take that trade in the morning. Now, in the afternoon, I saw, obviously, there in the afternoon, there was a nice little move after lunch. But I looked at it hindsight-wise, and I didn't feel like I would have engaged that either, because it just simply was in shock, really, to see how much it had dropped. And I was actually impressed, really, to see how far it traversed from the high of the morning to where it was in the afternoon, 1 o'clock. So I'm thinking to myself today, I found my way on a conversation on a phone call. I don't know the person, is an associate of one of my personal friends. And he called and was basically talking to me about the marketplace. Like, I was actually impressed with the way he handled himself. He acted like we knew each other for a long time. I knew he was recording me because every 30 seconds the phone would beep. So he was basically picking my brain, asking me, how is it that I trade? And he's an options trader and he's been trading a long time, and he wanted to see what our mutual friend, was describing me to him. So I didn't get a chance to watch the market live, but I can look at this and be honest with you and tell you that I probably would have sat there the entire day and done nothing. Just watched it. I could only look at it over my shoulder as I was pacing through the house, because the conversation went longer than I wanted it to, but I didn't want to be rude to him because he was friends with a mutual friend of mine. But I guess when you see a big move like this, the natural tendency is to want to ask someone that has been doing it longer. And the questions are like, okay, did you trade today? Did you take a trade today? How much did you trade? What was the amount of leverage that you used? Did you use a stop loss? What was your targets? What do you think is going to happen tomorrow? And where do you see it going, in a week or two?